Hey Picassos, it's Tequila, owner of The Art Lounge, your wine and paint party supply shop. I am here with a quick tutorial of how to paint a face. So get your things and let's get started. If you have a kit, this is of course how it comes. It comes like this with everything inside of it. So make sure you go ahead and take everything out, set your table up, set your area up how you want it. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and do that. I already took out everything that I needed. You have, of course, you have your picture here that you can use as a reference. You can do different colors, of course. You don't have to do a pink or red shirt. You can do whatever color you want. And so again, this tutorial is just for the face. When it comes to painting the background, or actually I may show you all how to do the background because it has like that faded look. So I actually may do at least the background for you all so you can see that. But for the most part, we really want to concentrate on the face because a lot of the paintings, we have a lot of people paintings because that's what our Picasso's like here. So I want to make sure that you all are doing the face like using the best technique possible. Of course, you can paint it how you want it, but I want you all to use the best technique possible for the paintings. So that's why I want to show you all how to do it. So I'm going to set this to the side. Of course, you have all your paint colors. I don't have a lighter, let me see, a lighter tone here. You all should have two different shades. Like you should have this brown and you should have a lighter, like a tan color, a peachy color. So you can use that. I'm gonna add white to this only because I want this to be lighter so you all can see what I'm doing. But otherwise you don't have to add white to it. You can just use the lighter brown color to mix it and make it lighter if you need to. So whenever you mix colors, make sure you do it on the plate. You don't want to mix your whole cup. You don't want to change the whole color of your cup. You see what I'm saying? You want to take some out, put it on the plate and mix. You don't want to change the whole cup color. All right, and I'm going to get a little bit here. And like I said, normally I would not tell you to use this color. I would tell you to use the lighter, that lighter peachy color. It just looks better to me. Okay. So I am using, you may have two brushes. I'm using the blue brush, and make sure you have your napkin and your cup of water. You can wet your brush first if you want to, or you don't have to. It's really no big deal. If you see marks all over this canvas, it's because it's old and I had it sitting somewhere and I was like, oh, you know what? Let me do a tutorial using this canvas because I'm like, I can't give this to anybody, so what can I do with it? So I just thought about this today. I was like, let me do a tutorial. All right. So you should have your brown color. And if you have your brown color, go ahead and dip your brush in that and, you know, get a good amount of the brown on your brush. Set that to the side. And then we're going to start up here in this area, like her forehead area. We're going to start painting that. And I typically like to go around the face first and then I kind of fill it in, but you can paint it however you want. Don't worry about covering up the black lines. Like you actually want to cover up the black lines. Unless you're doing maybe like a blonde color hair, it really doesn't matter if you go across the line or not, because if you're doing like a dark color hair, it's the hair, once we paint that, is going to cover up any, you know, paint that went over this side. It's gonna cover it up anyway. Like I said, unless you're doing like a lighter color hair, then I wouldn't worry about it. So I typically go around. And when you're on this part, you really don't need to use a lot of paint at all. So you're gonna paint around the face, and you actually want to spread this out as much as you can before you get more. So I go around here. And then what I'm gonna start doing is actually painting over everything on the face. Paint over everything. And if you need more, like right now, I'm running out. And I can tell I'm running out because when I do this, see how it's super light? It's barely anything on the brush. So that means I need to get more paint. But do you see how little paint I needed for this? So you don't need a lot at all. I'm going around. And then I'm gonna thin it out. I hope y'all can see what I'm doing. You can go over the lips or you can go around them. Unless you're doing like a light color, like a light pink, it really doesn't matter if you paint over them or not. You don't need a lot on the lips. And like I said, you don't need a lot of paint. And one reason for that is if you lose a lot of paint, it's gonna be clumpy. It's gonna take a year to dry. So you really don't need a lot of paint whatsoever. You can take a little bit and spread it around as much as you can. And you can cover the entire area really, really well. So yep, just keep that in mind. All right, so typically what you would do next would be to go all the way down here in this area, painting, covering up everything, the chest line and all of that stuff, just like we did the face. But I'm not gonna do that today because like I said, I'm just doing the face, and I will show you all how to do that faded background color, okay? So once you finish doing this, go ahead and clean off your brush. I am right next door to a dog groomer, so you will hear dogs barking like all day when we're here. So yeah, so that's what's going on. Okay. All right, so let me see. Okay. So when it comes to this painting, when you look at the nose, like I say, you may have two brushes, and if you have the 11 by 14 size canvas, which is like this, you'll have this brush, and you may have a skinny brush like this. If you have the larger canvas, which is the 16 by 20, you'll also have a big brush because it's bigger and you have more space to cover, and we don't want it to take a whole month to do this painting, so we give you a bigger brush so that you can cover more space in a short amount of time. All right, so again, if you're doing the 11 by 14, then you probably have these two brushes for this particular painting. It just depends on what you're painting, what type of brushes that we put in the kit for you. So typically you would just have this brush, but if we notice that on the painting you have a lot of small lines or small like spaces to get into, we will add this one in there. So it really just depends. So if you don't have it, don't feel gypped. Again, it just depends on the type of painting that you have and like what, what's on the painting. All right, so with this particular one, oh, and I don't know if I said it before, but this technique right here is going to be used for all of the people paintings that we have. So if you have a painting that has a face that you need to paint, you can use this technique. It doesn't have to be the queen. It can be the king. It can be, let's see, I Wrapped in Beauty Girl, she's a popular one. I mean, it can be any of the ones that have faces on them. This is a technique that you want to use. So don't go looking for like a bunch of different videos on all the separate people paintings that we have, because we're not going to have that. Because once you do like one of these, it's all the same. Honestly, it's the same technique. So once you get down the face, I think the most difficult thing is doing the face. And once you got that, you're good. Now there may be a couple other ones that we do only because they have like special parts in there that maybe others don't have. Like the Wrap in Beauty, her hair is a little bit different. It's really unique. So we may do a tutorial on the hair specifically, but we're not doing tutorials on all of the different paintings. Okay, I went down a whole rabbit hole with that. Okay, so back to this painting. So if you have the small brush, right? If you notice the lines on the nose, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take some black and you're basically gonna trace the lines, okay? You're gonna trace these lines. I'm doing it with the other side just in case you can't see. Trace. Go across that line, fill that in, fill that in. You can fill in the lips. If you do not have a brush like this, again, you can use this one. This one is fine. Or you can use my favorite thing in the world, which I will tell you, like at the end of your painting when you're outlining everything, like if you notice like how she has the black line here, I think the reason why people, our customers, like they're so afraid to go over the line is because they see a prominent black line in a lot of the paintings. But this black line that you see in these paintings are not from the line that we initially drew here. It's because after we finish painting everything, we go back. We'll either use a brush and take black paint and just re-outline everything, or we'll use a Sharpie